Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy book review day. Today's book is an audiobook, which is, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the screen or not. Um, ADHD is awesome. A guide to mostly thriving with ADHD by Penn and Kim Holderness. Now, as somebody who never watched The Amazing Race, I didn't know who these people were, but apparently they won The Amazing Race in one of the seasons and made a stir because he talked about his ADHD and she talked about anxiety. And that apparently was new for The Amazing Race. I don't know. Anyway, this book came across my desk because there are people in my family who have ADHD, and though I'm never have been diagnosed, I definitely have some of those traits, and so I'm always trying to learn more about what it is and how to help people who have it, and to be at least more empathetic and understanding of that. So this book seemed interesting. I got it through the library, which is through Libby on this little um, platform. But anyway, this is an audiobook like I've never read before because, or listened to before. The two authors, it's primarily read by Penn. He's the one who suffers with ADHD or has ADHD, I guess I should say, and talks about it very openly. And then his wife, Kim, um, has anxiety, and they both talk at different times. So even though Penn delivers most of the information about the book, she interjects periodically, and so it's almost podcast like, sort of, where there's this conversation happening, and it feels very organic and kind of interesting. He'll say something, and then she'll interject and add a story, or um, build on that kind of idea, or add the perspective of a spouse watching this happen. And it's a really kind of interesting approach for an audiobook, which I really enjoyed. And I think it'd be interesting to see what the actual book looks like. I imagine the book is probably constructed physically to represent that. Like, here is the author, but then here are our sides kind of along the way. So I'm going to go to the library and grab a copy and look at it. But I will say, in general, this book does a really good job of it starts right at the beginning with the definition of awesome, and it's not just all good. Here is the all-encompassing definition of what awesome means, and then how they're unpacking ADHD in that. And there are things in there about coping with loss and dealing with emotional struggles, and of course there's things like planning and organizing, and it's a very interesting breakdown of at least one person's experience. And they're very careful to say, we are not medical doctors. We are not going to diagnose you. We are not giving medical advice. We are simply telling what our experience is, and what that looks like through our lens. So I really enjoyed it. It's, as with everything that I read about something that where I have a different perspective or outlook on the world, it gives me a new lens to kind of see things through, and I can empathize and kind of imagine that. And as a parent who parents children with ADHD, it helps me kind of figure out where they're at, or at least have an idea of what they might be experiencing if they don't have the vocabulary to share it with me. And I'll probably share the book with them, because I think, even though the book is kind of written for two audiences. One is people who have ADHD and kind of need confirmation, or to know that they're not alone in some of these unique experiences, or experiences, period. And then it's also for the audience of people who want to learn more about it. So anyway, I would definitely recommend ADHD is Awesome by Penn and Kim Holderness. So what are you reading?